Hello class, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So students, welcome once again to your maths class. I, Anchal Singh, welcoming you all once again to your maths class. So class, in the previous session, as you all know, that we were on chapter number 8, that is Microsoft Excel. Okay, so in the today's session, I am going to begin with the back exercise of chapter number 8, that is MS Excel. So first of all, I'll just write on the topic here, that is chapter 8 MS Excel. Okay, so from the back exercise, first of all, we are going to begin with tick the correct options or tick the correct answer. This is the first one, that is tick the correct answers. Okay, starting from the A1. A spreadsheet program that organizes data in rows and columns. So a spreadsheet program that organizes the data in the row and column is called Excel. So when we arrange the data in row and column, that is known as Excel. A spreadsheet program that organizes the data in row and column is known as Excel. That is option number 1. That is Excel. Moving to the B1. The B is the collection of rows and columns is called worksheet. The collection of rows and columns is called worksheet. We call it as worksheet. Moving next to the C1. The C is the intersection of row and column is known as cell. So where the rows and columns intersect with each other, that is known as cell. We call it as cell. That is option number 3, that is we call it as cell. The D1, number of worksheets in a spreadsheet file is. So how many worksheets are there in a spreadsheet file? So there are 255 worksheet in a spreadsheet file. So the answer for the D1 is 3, that is 255. The E1, the extension of Excel file is, so when we save an Excel file, it saves in the form of .xlxs. This is an extension of an Excel file. So write down, that is option number 2, that is x.xlsx. So this is the extension of an Excel file. Moving next to the F1. The cell that has a dark border around it is called. So when we select a cell, okay, so we get a dark border around that cell. So what is that cell called? That is known as active cell. So the answer for the F1 is first one, that is active cell. Okay, so this is the answer for the tick the correct options. You can pause it here and note it down in your notebooks. Moving next to the fill-ups. So the second one is the fill in the blanks. The second is fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. So the A1 is Excel allows you to organize data in dash and dash. So when we organize the data in Excel, it is arranged in the form of rows and columns. So it is arranged in the form of rows and columns. Moving next to the B1, the collection of rows and columns is called, so when we put rows and columns together, so that is called worksheet. The answer is, this is not the, so that I was reading the, take the correct options. The second blank is The dash box gives the cell reference to of an active cell. So the dark box gives the cell reference of an active cell. Okay, so the dark box gives the cell reference of the active cell. C1. The horizontal and the vertical lines representing the rows and the columns on the worksheet are called workbook. Okay, so the horizontal and the vertical lines that are present on a worksheet, that is known as workbook. Okay, so it represents rows and column and we call it as workbook. Moving next to the D1. There are dash and dash columns in a single worksheet. So there are 10,48,576 rows and 16,384 columns in a worksheet. So there are dash rows and dash columns in a worksheet. That is, there are 10,48,576 rows and 16,384 columns in a single worksheet. Moving next to the E1. By default, there are dash columns in Excel worksheet. So by default, there are 16,384. By default, there are 16,384 columns in an Excel worksheet. Okay, so this is the answer for the fill-ups. You can pause the video and note it down in your notebooks. Moving next to the third one. So the back exercise, the third thing is answer the following questions. So now we are going to begin with the question answers. Okay, so let's begin with the question answers of chapter number 8. So let's begin with the question answer. So the question number 1 is, define the following terms. So the A part, the A question, okay, so they have given the certain terms which we need to define. A1, the first is workbook. Okay, we need to define the workbook. So what is a workbook? Okay, so let's write down. Okay, a spreadsheet file is called workbook, okay, which is having, okay, a spreadsheet file. A spreadsheet file is called workbook, which is like which is like a notebook, which is like a notebook, which is like a notebook having individual, it is like a notebook having 255 individual worksheets. Full stop. Okay, so this is the first term. What is a workbook? A spreadsheet file is called workbook, which is like a notebook having 255 individual worksheets. So this is what we call a workbook. This is the first term. Next is worksheet. What is worksheets? Okay, so let's define the second term, that what is a worksheet. Answer for the B1 is, second one is, that what is a worksheet. Okay, so write down what is worksheet. The rows and columns in MS Excel in which we, the rows and the columns in MS Excel in which we organize our data is called worksheet. Is called worksheet. Full stop. The rows and the columns in MS Excel in which we organize our data is called worksheet. So these are the two terms. The first one was workbook. A spreadsheet file is called a workbook, which is like a notebook having 255 individual worksheets. Next is worksheet. The rows and columns in MS Excel in which we organize our data is called worksheet. Okay, so these are the first two terms. Let's begin with the third one. The third is row heading. What is row heading? The third is what is row heading in MS Excel? Okay. So let's write down a number of a row number on the left side of the grid in MS Excel is called row heading. Okay, in MS Excel a row number on the left side, okay, or write down a row number on the left side, a row number on the left side of MS Excel worksheet a row number on the left side of the MS Excel worksheet worksheet. Okay, or a row number on the left side of the grid in MS Excel. Okay, so that of the grid. So we will talk about the grid. So a row number on the left side of the grid in the a row number on the left side of the grid in the MS Excel is called row heading. Okay, so this is the third term. What is row heading? A row number on the left side of the grid in the MS Excel is called row heading. Moving next to the fourth one, which is the fourth term. So the fourth term is cell. What is cell? Okay, so the fourth one is cell. The intersection of each column and row in a worksheet is called cell. Okay, the fourth one is cell. The intersection of the intersection of each column, column, and the intersection of each column and row in a worksheet is called cell, full stop. Okay, so this is the fourth term, cell. The intersection of each column and row in a worksheet is called cell. Moving next to the fifth one. Moving next to the fifth one. The fifth is active cell. So fifth one is, what is an active cell? Okay, so what is an active cell? This is the fifth term that we need to explain. Okay, this is active cell. So what is an active cell? A cell has a dark border. Okay, the cell which is having a dark border around it is known as an active cell. A cell which has a dark border around it is called an active cell. Okay, so this is the fifth term. You can pause the video and write down the definition of active cell. Okay, now moving next to the question number B. Okay, so in question number A we were discussing the terms. Now in question number B. So the question number B is, what is cell reference? Question number B is, what is cell reference? Moving to the B1. So what is cell reference? A cell is referred by its unique address or self-reference, which is the coordinate of the intersecting column and row. Okay, so let's write down what is cell reference. A cell is referred to by its unique address or cell reference. A cell is referred to by its unique address or cell reference, which is the coordinate of the intersecting column and row. So cell is referred to its unique address or cell reference, which is the coordinate of the intersecting column and row. Okay, so this is the answer number B. Next question answers that we will discuss in the next session. So this is from my today's session class. So with this, I'm just ending the session here only. So I'll see you again very soon in our next session. So till then everybody, have a great day.